Hello and welcome to the Tigre.pup channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how I got fired by text and on my off day. If this story interests you, then please keep watching. My story begins with a trip to JCPenney where a family member of mine was working, and I paid them a visit this particular day. Well, upon this visit on my way out, I noticed a friend of mine that I went to beauty school with who had moved to Texas. She had mentioned that the salon she was working at in the very same mall, was hiring, and that they were looking for new people since she was going to be moving to Texas. So she told me to go ahead on and talk. She was going to talk to the management or the owner. Let's say her name is Tammy. And discuss with her that I was looking for work and all of that stuff. And she was looking for a person and I might be a good fit because me and my, she was my former classmate, become friend. We had went to the same school, so our training is pretty similar as far as like hairstyle and whatnot. Okay, so I went in to do the interview. With these interviews, they have you come in with a client and you perform using their products, a hairstyle or a cut, a curl, color, or whatnot, and a finished look. And I had passed that particular test. But when I started working there, I found out that they were having issues with a former employee who was claiming that she was experiencing racism on the job. And she was posting on the company's website, not website, but the Facebook account. I'm not exactly sure what it was she was posting, but she was claiming her racism and whatnot. And at the time, I was concerned about this, but then I says, well, right now, I've just come off of a job and I was between jobs. Basically, I was unemployed and I was looking for work. So I was pretty much desperate, and then it almost seemed like a godsend that a friend of mine, beauty school friend of mine, we had bumped into each other and I needed the job and I actually took it. Okay, just for the sake of the storyline, I'll just say that the name of the salon is Appeal Salon, and it's in a mall. It's in the food court area, so you have a lot of people that pass by to and fro if they actually do eat in the food court. So basically that's where the mall, where in the mall we're located. There was a receptionist, her name, let's say Alyssa. She knew it all. She definitely knew more than me, even though she was in beauty school. I had, at that time, I want to say maybe 3 years of experience in a salon. I actually had gotten my license and whatnot. Alyssa, she made it her business to, I felt like, mess with me. She'd make little snide comments and things of that nature. And honestly, I don't even know where it came from because I didn't even bother with her. I came, I did my job and did whatever I had to do and went about my business. I'll give you an examples of what type of issues I was having with Alyssa. Okay, so a couple of us co-workers had gotten together and we were eating in the food court, which is what I said the salon was located, Appeal Salon, and we got to eating or whatever. So I had some Asian food with some rice or whatever, and the rice was really hard, and it seemed like it had been underneath the heat lamp for quite a while, so it was like rock hard. You barely could even eat it. So I made the comment that it's as hard as rat droppings. Well, Alyssa taking this opportunity to ask me if I actually ate rat droppings, and I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be the silliest, most childish thing, If I ate rat droppings, I'd be sick or probably dead, honestly, because that's unsanitary. Why would you even play like that? But that's one example. Okay, on another example, I'm not exactly sure how we even got on this conversation, but me and a couple of coworkers again, we were discussing the levels of hair and how to determine it on a swatch. Okay, and so I made the comment. I says, well, It might help to look at the swatch and the hair as various shades of gray in order to determine the level, because it's like 1 through 7 levels, and basically you're just trying to figure out the lightness and the darkness comparatively between the hair to find out what level the hair is. And Alyssa, she's like, no, that's incorrect, that's not right. And it actually took a master stylist to come in and correct it, that it is probably a good idea to do, like I said, to look at it as various forms of gray. So I guess she felt a little bad about that. Okay, so the issue that done me in is with Alyssa is I was sitting down waiting for the next customer to come in. I was playing on my cell phone, and so here she comes and she sits right beside me, and she acts all nice and sweet or whatever, and she says, "You know what? I don't like it when people use the black card." Okay, so off top, if I didn't have any issue with her before, I definitely have one with her then, because I felt like that was basically like a personal attack. Like, why would anybody joke on something like that? So I'm just giving you a background of my experience with this Alyssa character. I would also like to add that at that time, I was the only black person that was working there amongst a bunch of white folks, including the owner. And I believe it may have played a bit of a role into why I was fired. Okay, so I had been there for quite a while, and the owner, manager, Tammy, she would send our schedules out by text. She would do a group message. Well, every time I wouldn't get my schedule. I'd have to ask her, could she tell me what the schedule is, or text me the schedule by myself or whatever? Because clearly I was getting the text messages when we were texting one another, and I'm telling her I'm not getting her text messages. Clearly, if I'm not getting it, I don't know if it's because she actually didn't put me in the group message, or maybe it was an issue with my phone, because I did have an older model phone at the time. I think I had a Trax phone, because I just couldn't afford those fancy phones with the touch screen and whatnot. And this is the issue I had coming in, and it would always, I wouldn't say an issue like a conflict, but like an issue like I have to constantly ask her what's the schedule. It's like she totally forgot every week, because we would do this every week. I don't know if you can send out a schedule, you can send out a second one to the person who you say, I'm not getting it, So that's one issue I was having with the manager, which owner would come into play later on in this story. Another issue that I was having that may have played a role into why I was firing was that the manager, Tammy, and her husband, let's see, his name is John, they would ask me to do cleanings, and other people didn't have to do these things, but it was exclusively asked of me to do these extra things as far as like cleaning. And I thought that was unfair, but at the time, like I said, I didn't have any other job offerings, so I just kind of like went with it. So basically, everyone else would be sitting around, gathered around, talking when they didn't have any clients, and I'd be like Cinderella and be having to clean this and that and that and this. So just visualize that for a second. Okay, now I'm going to go into the story of the particular day and the events that actually happened the day I was fired. Okay, on this particular night, it was on a Saturday, and naturally it's a busy day on Saturdays. A client comes in late in the evening, and she wants her hair virgin bleached or lightened, okay? Very long, thick, I believe she was of Hispanic origin, so it's very coarse hair. And so long, her hair was so long that it took about 3 or 4 foils just to catch all her hair. So naturally it took me a long time. Her hair was very black. Okay, so I actually had to sit her underneath the dryer, which is something I don't normally do, but I had to do in this case in order to get her to the proper lightness, because she wanted a green hair color. I'm going to try to show you a picture of what sectioning that I had to use in order to color her hair to lighten it. But her mama kept complaining about me taking so long and things like that. And I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing because any other distractions, it might throw me off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on her hair. And if you ever watch my videos as far as how I light the hair, I use foils to isolate the hair and also to keep the heat in so that I can get the maximum amount of lift that I need in order to get the lightened look. So I actually had to sit underneath the dryer and whatnot. So like I said, the mama was just going at me the whole time, and there's nothing I can do. If her hair is very dark and I have to bring her to very light, it's going to take some time. Matter of fact, it should have been done in 2 sessions because the mall, it closed at about like 9 or 10, I can't remember, but it really wasn't much time, especially if she came so late in the afternoon or evening. Okay, so the mall had closed, and at the time I think my car was out and I was catching a bus to and fro work. By then the bus had stopped running. I didn't have enough money for Uber or a taxi. Bay, he was at work, so Alyssa asked me if I wanted a ride, and of course I declined because I wasn't riding with a person that you know, had those type of mindsets and thinking I'm type of person you want to, you know, I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable riding with her. So I walked home, and it was about well, we have parishes here, so there's a parish over, and I guess they would call it a town or a county in other places, but I actually had to walk home. It was quite a long distance or whatever, and I made it home luckily safely, and this is what happened the next day. Okay, so it was that Sunday, which is the next day, because I had worked Saturday. I text the manager, owner, Tammy, for the schedule. And she goes on a rampage. She's talking about, I think I'm better than everyone. How come I never get the schedule? It's always an issue with me. And basically she runs it down to the point where she says, don't even bother coming to work anymore. So I send a text. I says, well, does this mean I'm fired? I mean, what's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? And she never responds. So I went over and I ran this particular situation to my mama, and she was like, why don't you just go in and see what's going on? And I'm thinking, I tell my mama, says, I don't think that's a good idea, because this lady, she just said don't even bother coming to work anymore. That sounds like fired, and I'm not even sure if I should even come in for my paycheck, because like I said, I mean, she could call the police and say she's feeling threatened or whatever, or have me escorted or jailed or anything, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel comfortable going in and doing that. Actually, when I did get my check, I had to send someone in to go get it for me. Anyway, so yeah, that is how I lost my job, by text. But that wasn't the end of it. When it came time for my W-2s, it was an issue because she said she had already sent it, and I told her I hadn't received it. And I had to go through the IRS just for her to force her hand in order to give me my W-2 so that I could fill out my taxes. And I told her, I says, okay, so you say you're not going to send it. I just spoke with IRS, and they say if you don't send it, you can expect to have fines and penalties, you know, because it's the law. You know, I had an issue with this woman. I hadn't even done anything to her, but she just went on a rampage. In hindsight, maybe when she made the comment, I think I'm better than everyone else. Maybe it's because, like I said, she was very close with Alyssa. Maybe Alyssa was telling her all these things, and I had declined a ride. And everyone knew that the bus stops at a certain time, that I'd rather walk, you know, the length of a parish than take a ride with Alyssa and her nasty attitude towards me. And that's what happened. Okay, and so my other theory is when I was expected to, or told to do all of those extra cleaning activities and duties, maybe I was being singled out or whatever, and I felt it was maybe racist based. So that's where I brought that particular situation in early in the video. Or then again, maybe she had intentions of getting rid of me to hire another employee that she was actually related to or good friends with or buddies with or whatever. That that's also an option that could have been into play when it came time when she decided to fire me. Maybe she had gotten a complaint from that the customer's mama. That's also a possibility too. But I mean, in the text, she was tired of sending me my schedule alone. So who knows? So now you know how you can get fired on your off day and by text. Isn't that nice? Well, if you enjoyed my video, please check out my other content in my catalog. Thanks for taking the time out to watch or listen to my story. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.